All right, so welcome to the student panel. We're going into phase 2 of our conversation today. And I'm going to ask each panelist to introduce themselves with their name and their major and when they started at Springfield, as well as any co-curricular experiences they're involved in. So I'm going to go in the order that I see you. So McKaylee, will you start?
Okay, hi everyone. My name is McKaylee. I am a sophomore in the health science program. I'm also a co-president of the International Students Organization, and I'm also a member of the women's swimming and diving team on campus.
Thank you. Gigi.
Hi, my name is Gigi. I am a sophomore. I'm in the psychology major and I have a minor in social justice. And on campus, I'm involved. I work in the union, work in the campus union, great time. And I'm also a new student orientation leader. So I could possibly have any and all of you guys as my NSOers, which is always really fun.
Alec.
Hi, my name is Alec. I'm a sophomore in the exercise science program with a minor in coaching. I'm a captain for rugby as well as coach for iron sports. I'm also a junior orientation leader, so hopefully I could see some of you there and a bunch of other stuff on campus. So yeah.
Sophie.
Hi, I'm Sophie. I'm a criminal justice major. I'm a sophomore, and I'm involved in the Humanics Club as well as being a student ambassador.
Shania.
Hi, I'm Shania. I'm a freshman. I am currently still undeclared, and I'm kind of looking at the therapeutic rec major, and I'm a part of the multiculturals connections group and dance club.
So we have a lot of experiences here, and I think that that's an opportunity for you all who are thinking about Springfield College, thinking about the Undeclared program and opportunities for involvement on campus. So I have some questions that I'm going to throw out there to our panelists, but feel free if you have any questions to put them out there too. So we'll start and then we'll go from there. What does it mean to be undeclared? So what has been your experience and what does it mean for you to be undeclared when you were?
I'll go. What I really loved about that period, like my freshman year, was academically speaking, there wasn't like any huge pressure of me feeling like, oh, I need to find a major, I need to find somewhere to belong. I really felt like there were plenty of opportunities open to me across campus, and it was kind of just like take it day by day and just explore what Springfield has for me, which was a really unique experience.
Coming into college, I kind of had an idea of what I wanted to do, and that has drastically changed. Being undeclared my first year, it was a learning experience for me because I am a first generation student and I kind of didn't know anything about like college life and like the resources that are available to you when you're at college. So being undeclared really showed me everything that Springfield College has to offer.
McKaylee, can you tell everyone what you were coming to Springfield College for and now where your direction is?
So coming in, I really wanted to go into PT, but right now I'm really interested in going into medicine, and I'm currently doing research about that.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, being an exploratory studies majors or coming in as undeclared just gives you a lot of freedom. I like to think of it as like structured freedom. Like you're not just like going through the motions, like you have structure to what you're doing and it has a purpose, but also allows you a platform to figure out in particular what you want to do with the resources you're given. I literally thought I wanted to be an art teacher, and I think Paige is laughing. And I almost declared as an art education major. I'm also don't like teaching. So that helped me figure that out really quickly through some courses. So I'm also a psychology major now. So just through the courses that you have, it gives you a lot of independence and interpretation of what you want from the classes you're taking. So it gives you a lot of power, which is really nice.
One of the things you'll hear us say to our advisees is you got to trust the process, right? And if you think about these experiences that you're hearing right now, it's, you know, I thought I wanted this and maybe I did, that's where I'm going, or I didn't know about this. And it was about trusting yourself and trusting the process of exploration. What was your experience with your academic advisor, students in supporting the exploration process? And for my advising team, how do you go about advising students?
I would say the support was like nice. Paige is my advisor. So when I first met with her and during my exploratory studies, I kind of just like threw out a lot of my interests with her, and she kind of helped me decide like what classes to really go and dive into, and like really ensure I kept an open mind, because I went to school. I wanted to go for physical therapy, and now I'm kind of like going away from that because a lot of students seem to be interested in it. And I'd say like she was really supportive with really like making sure that I was like going towards my actual like interest.
I can talk about Amanda was my advisor, and I could email her about anything. And I think I started a class and I hated it, and she helped me find classes that actually fit for me and for my schedule. And I could just go to her with all my problems, and it was really nice.
I can speak a little bit to the advisor side of things. I like to think of my students as driving the car and I'm the GPS. So I can tell them the different routes that they can go and they pick one. And if we hit a dead end, I'm like, okay, here are your options. Where do you want to go from here? But really empowering them to take ownership of that driver's seat. And providing suggestions based on what I'm hearing that they're liking and disliking.
Yeah, I think for me, I mean, like, just to like go off Shania, like I vividly remember my first meeting with Shania. Like I could tell you that we both like crunchy Cheetos. And I don't know why, but that's what we bonded over. And I think it's really important for when you meet with your advisor to make connections that make you want to share information with them. So first and foremost, Amanda, Leanne, and I, we want to know who you are as people. Like, yes, our goal is to help you academically and find a major that you enjoy, but I want to know what you enjoy. Like, what do you do in your extracurricular time? What's home life like? How was your high school experience? So discovering who you are as a person is so important to us because that's going to help us learn who you are and help guide you into majors that might fit your personality. So I think that that's something that we all really try to do is to get to know you on a more personal level before we're just like, okay, let's find you a major you're interested in.
I think that's a really key point because it's about getting to know you as a person and being personal with you, but it's also about building rapport and a little bit of trust because we are guiding you through the process. But you think about your most successful relationships in life and who you've been mentored by. And a lot of that starts with a foundation of they really know you and you begin to trust them to help you make an informed decision. Our job is definitely not to drive the car like Amanda's analogy, right? But our job is to give you all the options so that you can drive that car to where you want to. And I think that's really important as you think about what our advising philosophy is and how we support you through your success. I want to switch gears a little bit to the Exploration in a Major Way course, which formerly was our first year seminar course for undeclared students. Students, tell us about that course. What were your takeaways from the course? And give the students some feedback and some understanding of how we get across those concepts that we talked about.
I would say that, well, when I was a freshman, that course was called First Year Seminar, and First Year Seminar was one of my favorite classes that I've taken so far, because the curriculum that we covered helped me understand myself. I remember going over like time management skills. I really needed help with that my first year. I also remember writing an essay, what does success mean to me? And when I got assigned that essay, I really didn't know how to answer it. I really had to sit down and think about the true meaning of success to myself. And I think that taking that class really opened up my eyes and allowed me to understand myself a lot better. And I think that helped me like select a major. And now like I'm still currently exploring like the field of medical school. So that course really helped me and is still helping me right now.
Yeah, personally, in my experience, that course really kind of gave me a lot of perspective in terms of seeing other first years and just sort of realizing like, oh, okay, I'm not the only one who has like kind of no clue what I'm doing here, academically speaking. And definitely like cooled me down because sometimes I would get a little worried, like, okay, I should probably be thinking of what I want to do. And then I would see like other kids in my class and they're also just like in the same boat. And my professor really helped me realize that, like, it's a journey, and it's not about who gets there first. We're all going to graduate in about 4 years, or something like that. It's just a matter of what you do on the road there. So yeah.
So I had Amanda as my teacher for this class. And I thought it was like such a fun class because the environment itself is really good in the fact, like Alex said, you are able to work off other people, and it's like a very involved environment, people who are also undeclared. So that's very refreshing and like makes me less anxious about not knowing what's going on. But at the same time, it was also the point of it, which helped me a lot, was that like you're not going to leave the class and be like, oh, you're gonna be a business major. Like it's a lot of like self-reflection and figuring out a little more of a route, or just like a little more to this side or that side. Like you don't have to leave and be like, I'm gonna be a lawyer. Like it's very easygoing, but still gets the point across as figuring out things about yourself that you might not have known before. I really liked it.
What has the declaration process been like? So some of you have gone through the full exploration process of undeclared, first year seminar, and now you're declared and working with a faculty advisor. So what was that process like? What was it like to declare? Talk about the decision and how you made the decision, but also how you truly filled out the paperwork to declare, and what your success has been like since then.
I can talk about this I'm a criminal justice major, and after we had the head of the criminal justice program come in and talk about it, I knew I wanted to do that. And there was a declaration day where we could just do that. We did the paperwork, and there was like a little party, and you got to talk to the person. It was so easy. It was so easy just to go from this advisor to the criminal justice advisor, and it was just really stress-free.
Mm-hmm.
I fortunately wasn't there for the pizza party declaration party, which would have been really nice, but I I had to choose. I like declared my major like 4 weeks ago, so for me it was a much more intricate process, for lack of a better word, but it still was like I emailed Paige and I was like, this is what I want to do. How do I get to this major, and what does this mean after I am the major? And basically Paige just like told me how it is, keeps it real, and then she figured out all the paperwork, which is awesome. But yeah, it's different. You can do different processes depending on the year that you also declare, because I feel like for declaring second semester your sophomore year, it's much more of like sign the paper, no fun pizza party, but it's still the same thing.
Alec, can you just talk about applying to a program? Because I know that you declared a program that required an application process.
Yeah, I didn't get a pizza party either, which I'm kind of bummed out. Apparently everyone else got one, but it really, quite honestly, no one at Springfield, especially when, well, no one at Springfield's out to get you. Like no one is ever gonna be, everyone's on your side. You know what I mean? And especially your first couple of years, when you're, getting your feet on the ground for the first time, people really go out of their way to help you, which is fantastic. So I had Paige as my advisor, which was like really dope. And I had Professor Hackala. I probably shouldn't say dope in like an official college panel, but there we go. And yeah, I mean, I don't know, maybe it's just the way that I look at it. In the grand scheme of things, it really wasn't that challenging at all. Of course, it was an honor to be accepted into my program, but I was never at a point where I was like really sweating and like, oh boy, this is going to be like a real challenge and I might not get this and blah, blah, blah. Of course, you might not get it, but you have the full support that you need to get there, as long as you put in the work that you need to. So yeah, I'm really just grateful to people that helped me out to get there. And really, I mean, like I said, it's not going to be a process where you're going to be like sweating and like really worried all the time. It's people here are really here to help you. And the second that you feel like that bit of added pressure, like that's the point when you go to your advisor and just get taken care of and you'll be fine.
Mhm. Yeah. Tell us about, we've talked a lot about the exploration process, and I want to switch gears one more time, and I want to hear about your student experiences. So what's your typical day look like? What's your ability to balance your academics, your co-curricular activities, your work study? How do you balance all of that, and how have you been successful in doing that?
Right. So starting off, and I thought I had great time management in the beginning. I thought I had everything under control, but then that soon like blew up in my face my first semester. And basically when we started to talk about time management, we had a assessment for us to write what are we doing every 4 hours for a week. And I realized I was focused on my extra activities in my classes more. So I started to use a planner to like schedule everything out. So I have this time for myself and like this time to do my work. And like that seems to be working. So don't just think that, oh, I'll have all this time in the world to do it. If it's due in a week, you should write it out so you can see what you're actually doing so you don't get overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
My freshman year, I kind of like had an on and off, like sometimes I would be good at time management and other times like I would not be good at it. So doing the time management activity during my first year seminar class really showed me like where I spend my time like throughout the week. And I also implemented a planner. One other thing that I did, I went to the Academic Success Center and got an academic coach. I was a little bit hesitant, but my academic coach sat down with me my freshman year and she helped me plan out like my swimming, my club meetings, my free time. And she literally sat there with me and went through it day by day to make sure that I would be able to keep on track.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really liked what Leanne said earlier in the presentation about only 15 hours of your week is actually in class. And of course, then there is a lot more time devoted to like doing your schoolwork and whatnot. But regardless of what your major is and what you're doing academically and all that kind of stuff, your first year at college, especially here at Springfield, is going to be like the time to make memories. Like it, to me, is like the most fun thing you could do. And I had a great first year experience. Like I said, very much in part due to my curriculum that I was in at the time, but also just because of it's Springfield College and like it's not going to say dope again. It's a really fun place. And as an RA for first years, I get to see that process and sort of take part in it and help give first years or hopefully at least a relatively equal, great experience relative to the one that I had. So yeah, I mean, I cannot stress to you how much like your first year at Springfield, assuming another like world-ending disease doesn't come into play, is gonna like be really awesome. Shania was my residence. She can speak to this. Like, it's very, very fun. I think you're gonna love it. I'm very confident you will.
Our guests today, do you have any questions for our panelists? Or anything you want to know right now? I'm going to ask one go around of what advice would you give to an incoming first year student? And I think that's a nice way to close out our hour together. So I'm gonna go around and start from the top. And if you do have any last minute questions or things you want answered, go ahead and type them in the chat and we'll get to them as soon as we're done this roundabout. Okay. I'm going to start backwards this time. So, Shania, you're up. What advice would you give an incoming first year student?
Well, I don't know if you guys are like shy, but my first week on campus, I wouldn't leave my room. It took forever for me to start a conversation. So don't be shy. Like no one's going to like bite you. So just like go out there and try to start a conversation. Like it took me a while to learn who Alec was. He like stopped by, he told me like, hey, I'm your RA. But like I was too scared still to like go out and experience like college. It was like really just don't do it. Just go out and like be free because it's like a whole new area for you to be a part of.
Look at you now, Shania. We got you presented 3 months later, 4 months later. Sophie, you're up.
Okay, so the advice I give is to get involved. Like there's so many clubs, there's so much to do here. There's intramurals, there's get involved, leave your room. There's just so much to do. There's always club fairs. You could always go to the SAC office. There's so much to do. And so find something you're interested in and do it.
Alec.
So if I were to say one thing that really was great for me my first year was just that who you were before you came to college, regardless of where you go to college, does not have to be who you decide to be in college and past that. You have a completely clean slate here. Very few people know you, if anyone, and that is such an opportunity to create the person that you want to be and just say like, okay, this is what worked for me in the past. This is what I like to build towards. Let's get after it. And that is an opportunity that you might not ever have again, which is a little scary, but it's also a huge opportunity, like I said, and it really could be a blessing if you make it into one.
TG.
My advice is kind of going off of Alex. And hear me out. It's to not care about things that like don't matter. Like when I got to college, I was like, I just don't think I'm going to care what people think of me. And I'm going to do whatever I want and I'm going to do great. And I had my mindset. And it's kind of like Alex said, like changing your mindset to the person that you want to grow into be. And when you realize that you don't need to care about what other people think of you or what other people's perceptions are, life becomes a lot better. And on a college campus like Springfield College, when you have so much to do, it really shows. Like I literally am not, I would go to like hip hop classes before I'd have like anxiety about like what people would think of me, but like I don't care. And it has made my experience like so much more rewarding and has made opportunities so much more fulfilling. So just go into it like extremely open-minded and just do exactly what you want to do.
McKaylee.
My advice to you guys, I would say start college open-minded, try out new things, attend new clubs, new events on campus. Don't be afraid to start up a conversation with somebody. All the freshmen are new to it. They're in a new environment. Everybody's looking to make friends. Just go out there, be you, and have fun. That's my advice.
Paige and Amanda, any last thoughts?
I would say don't be afraid to lean on your people. You are going to find your people at Springfield College, and that might take some time, but before you do, you're going to be surrounded by a whole great network of staff and people that are there to help you, your RAs, your CDs. So don't be afraid to lean on those people when you need it.
I think most importantly for me is, you know, one we've heard our entire lives, and it's to trust your gut. You know what is going to be good for you and what won't be good for you. And while coming to college is a great time to challenge yourself and try new things, do what feels right for you. No matter where you end up, if that's Springfield College or somewhere else, trust your gut and believe in yourself, because chances are you can do just about anything that you think you can.
Yeah, and I want to say thank you to all. I think those are really all great pieces of advice as you think about reflecting into where you're about to go and the journey you're about to embark on. Those things about staying true to yourself and exploring and figuring out where you go, that's all part of the exploration process. And that's the heart of the Undeclared program. So I think that jumping in and feeling supported and thinking about and being able to self-reflect is a really powerful trait, not only while you're in college, but well beyond as you transition to different life stages. So those tools of success that we start an exploration in a major way continue to evolve and change, and you tap back into many years after you've ever taken that course. Thank you to all of our panelists. There is one question in the chat that I want to address before we say our goodbyes. It's how well do college credits transfer? Springfield College accepts all AP credit or AP exam scores of a 3 or higher. So you're eligible for transfer credit for AP exams of a score of 3 or higher. You are eligible for transfer credit from any college or university that is a regionally accredited institution of higher education with a grade of C- or better. So it's pretty easy as long as they're from the appropriate institutions with the appropriate passing score or grade. Are there any other questions out there that we have not answered, or any comments about the Undeclared program that you would like to share with all of us? Right. Well, I'm not seeing anything come through. So again, thank you so much for joining us. And if you have any questions about the Undeclared program, you can feel free to reach out. You could also feel free to log on to the website that you are given access to about the Undeclared program. There is a video on there that I have pre-recorded about Undeclared that goes through all of the information that we talked about in our first half of this session today. And then the panel, if you want to go back to the panel questions, we have live recorded that, and you can see that here. Have a great one, and I hope to see you in the fall.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.